Good morning, everyone. Come on in. I pray everyone is doing well today. You will notice perhaps that I am standing rather than sitting because I don't know, the last couple days I just felt like my energy was not where it should be. So I decided that we're going to try standing, which is also why I'm just a couple minutes late because there was some rigging that had to happen differently in order for this setup to kind of sort of work. And I will apologize right off the bat to our YouTube viewers because you're going to notice my eyesight is not going to be anywhere near where the camera is. So I apologize, but that's just how it's going to have to be because I need to be looking at this one, which is where my comments are coming and all that kind of good stuff. So good morning to you, Shannon. So I want to make sure that I'm looking here rather than here. Okay, hope that makes sense to everybody. All right, so today is our Wisdom Wednesday. And just in case we do have anybody on YouTube watching who maybe doesn't know who I am, my name is Buffy Hood, and I'm a jeweler with Premier Designs Jewelry, and have been with them for almost 10 years. Holy cow, right? So almost 10 years that I've been with Premier. And I just like to use these different platforms as a way to be able to assist other Premier Designs jewelers who also are in the process of working and building their businesses. Okay? All right. Good morning. Good morning. So today I told you I was going to be sharing some little like nugget of info that I would have received. Ladies, I got to tell you, for those of you who joined us yesterday, okay, this is going to sound almost like it was planned, but it wasn't. All right. So yesterday, okay, I was talking about the whole thing of basically like, don't be impatient. Okay. Give time for your business to build. Allow it that opportunity to build. So then I had to kind of laugh because this morning I was kind of going through some different things, looking for some inspiration, some things to be able to share with you this morning. And I came across this video, which is by a gentleman, and I could very well be saying his name wrong. If I am, oh wow, I apologize. I've never heard his name spoken, only ever have seen it written. His name is Kerwin Ray, okay? And the funny thing is the video that I watched today that he apparently had posted yesterday, but I never saw it yesterday, was talking about how we are a society of instant gratification people, which we all already know, okay? But he was also talking about how dangerous that is when it comes to your business, because as entrepreneurs, we want to see results quickly, okay? And because we are this instant gratification society, and we have come to a place where because we can very quickly, grab any device and we have access to all information at our fingertips that we can get in a matter of seconds, okay, then we seem to think that that's how our results should happen in our businesses as well, and that's not the way it works, okay? So I'm gonna quote some things to you that he mentioned in this video that it was just kind of like, okay, so what he had shared was, if you are only looking 6 to 12 months into the future in terms of your bigger plans with your business, you will have a constant stream of reasons to be stressed, because you'll never be moving as fast as what you want to, and you'll be constantly beating yourself up for not being where you should be, where you thought you would be, based on where you are right now. Okay? However, if you maintain a long-term perspective, if you say to yourself, you know what, this is going to be at least a 10-year journey. Good morning, Deborah. Okay, if you say to yourself, you know what, this is going to be at least a 10-year journey, and it is, y'all, I miss pushing, I don't know if I missed it or if it didn't take, but anyway, I'll push it now. They'll still get something out of it. Sorry, YouTubers. All right. So, and actually, I might even repeat just that first portion because it's really good and I do want that to sink in. So, Kerwin Ray shared if you are only looking 6 to 12 months into the future in terms of your bigger plans, and he's referring to your business, you will have a constant stream of reasons to be stressed because you'll never be moving as fast as what you want, and you'll be constantly beating yourself up for not being where you should be, where you thought you would be, based on where you are right now. Whereas, if you maintain a long-term perspective, if you say to yourself, look, I understand this is going to be at least a 10-year journey. And if I commit to the 10-year journey, I can mess it up every day for the first 3 years. And I can look back and say, that's okay. I still have 7 more years to go. Okay. Whereas, good morning, Chantel. Whereas if you are only giving yourself a year, how many people come into this business and say, well, I'll give it a year and see what it does? Why are we just thinking in terms of 1 year? Why are we just thinking in terms of 12 months? Why are we just thinking, for some people, they're thinking in terms of 6 months because they're looking at the fact that 6 months from now, they have to decide whether or not they're going to renew. And they're saying, well, let's see what happens in the next 6 months. Why not give yourself a 10-year plan at a minimum and say, you know what, I'm going to give this thing 10 years. And if it doesn't work, then it didn't work. But at least I would have given it a shot. At least I would have put forth the effort. And y'all, if you're going to give something 10 years, make sure you are putting in the effort. Okay? Do the work necessary. Don't just keep renewing every single year without doing something to build your business, get your name out there, show the product, share the business plan. Okay? Don't just sit idly back, but truly work it. It's not to say you have to work it full time. It's not, okay. Now listen, I'm gonna say a quote here real quick because I know Miss Chantel loves this quote. You can work your business full time or part time, but you can't work it in your spare time. No one has spare time. Stop looking for spare time to be able to work your business, and stop giving yourself only 6 to 12 months worth of a business plan to look at and say, well, we'll see what it does in that time frame. I want y'all to think about Randy and Elizabeth Draper or Janet and Gary Googe. Think about them. Okay. These people have been in for, I believe the Googes have been in for almost 28 years. Randy and Elizabeth have been in for 31, almost 32 years. Okay. They came in the business when the business was just 90 days old, y'all. Okay. They've been around for a long time. But let me ask you something. What if they would have come in and had the mentality of, well, I'm just going to try it for a year and see what happens? I can promise you they would not be at the level they're at if they would have just given it 1 year. They had a vision. They had a goal. They came into this and said, you know what? This is my job now. This is my business now. It wasn't, well, let me try this little hobby for a year or so and see how it goes. It was, this is my job. This is my business. It wasn't a let's try it until. It was a this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing now. Okay? So I can tell you for me, when people are asking me, well, you know, how long do you think you'll do this business? Y'all, either until God calls me home or until he makes it that I can't do a business anymore, which as long as I still have use of technology, even if I become bedridden, I could still do this business. So I am a lifer in Premier. As long as the good Lord allows for breath to be in my lungs and for Premier to still be a business, I'll be doing this business. There's no until. There's no, well, I'm gonna go for it until I reach this goal and then I'm gonna stop. Why? Why would I stop doing something that has been good for me? Okay. even if it hasn't always been good to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, business is hard if you're doing it the right way. Okay? Business can be tough. But listen, the rewards that come out of hard work. And just in case y'all have forgotten, God has called us to work hard. God has called us to do amazing things. Y'all have heard me say it before. He did not create us to be mediocre. He created us to be amazing. And we're not going to be able to do that if we are taking this opportunity and literally picking it up and setting it on a shelf until a time or a day where we might have time for it, or until a time or a day where we go, well, you know what, it just hasn't quite done enough for me. It's time to take it off the shelf and just get rid of it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that. We can't have that mentality. We have to have the mentality of, this is my business, and it is the good, the bad, and the ugly based on what I do. Okay? Because listen, even if sales aren't pouring in, if I'm serving people, I'm doing my job. Even if my calendar suddenly does not have as many shows on it as what I would like for it to have, I'm still out there serving people, doing the job that God called me to do. We have to stop looking at temporary circumstances and then making permanent decisions to say, you know what, I don't think I want to do this anymore because it's been tough. Yeah, it's been tough. Life is tough. Okay, I don't care what you go do, it's going to be tough. Business is hard. You know what else is hard? Being broke. So choose your hard. Are you going to work hard? Or are you going to be broke and have life be hard because of being broke? I mean, you get to choose. But a lot of that is going to come with your perspective. Okay? If you're only giving yourself 6 to 12 months to look at something and go, well, I'll try this and see how. Do you all understand that when you say, I'm going to try, you are already giving yourself an excuse and an out to quit? When you say, I'm going to try, you might not ever do a single thing toward that. But then when someone says, hey, I've noticed that you didn't reach that. I noticed that you didn't reach that level of achievement, or, you know, how are you doing with that? You can sit back and go, well, I tried, but it just didn't happen. Did it really just not happen, or did you not work? Okay. And you'll notice that's what my scopes are always probably going to come back to is we have to work. This isn't a get rich quick. This isn't a, come in for a year and become a billionaire. All right. One of the other things that Kerwin talked about in that video was the fact that people look at the success that Instagram had. And they say, well, within 18 months of Instagram launching, they sold to Facebook for $1 billion. Okay. But what you might not know is that the creator of Instagram had been working on the idea of Instagram for 12 years before that $1 billion sale. Okay. So I want you to think about that. All right. You need to think about the fact that that was a company that, yes, they're up here. They have, $1 billion company that was sold out to Facebook and this and that, whatever. Okay. But think about that. For 12 years, that dude sat there trying to create this. What if after a year he would have just said, I can't figure it out. It's just not working. I don't know if anybody's even going to like this. Think about that. Okay? Think about that. What if he had given up after even 5 years? He wouldn't have had that $1 billion sale. He wouldn't have been able to sell to Facebook for that amount of money because he would have quit. He would have walked away from it, saying, I've spent enough time here and nothing's happening. I need to just move on and do something different. He stuck with it. And why? Because he had that long-term perspective. He didn't have just a couple of month perspective or even just a couple of years perspective. So that's what I want you guys to be thinking about, is when you think about your Premiere business and you think about your future, do you see Premiere there? Do you see yourself still doing Premiere 5 years from now? 10 years from now? Or are you looking at this as this is like a month to month, a year to year thing? And you're not going to make any snap judgments on making too much of a commitment to doing this for the long haul. Okay, so I want you to really think about that, because there is so much there. There is so much there in just that little bit that I shared, that I have no doubt that you will be able to chew on that for the next couple of weeks. Okay, and it was just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so that is what I'm going to leave you all with today. I'm not going to hold you up any longer because it really truly speaks for itself. Okay, so I want you to just think about that. And anything that you'd like to share in the comments, please feel free to go ahead and do so. I'll go back and read everything because I know there were some comments coming through, but I was trying to not get too distracted. So I will come back and read those comments. But tomorrow is our Truth Be Told Thursday. So I will be sharing something about myself, and about my business. But then you will also have an opportunity to ask me some questions about my business, kind of the who, what, where, when, how, why of what I do in my business and how that has worked for me, or things like that. So maybe if there's a certain area of your business that you're kind of struggling with, maybe you just need some help with some different verbiage or things like that. That's what we'll be here for tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I pray that you have a fabulously blessed day and look forward to seeing you guys then. Thanks so much for joining me. I know you guys could have spent your morning anywhere and you chose to spend it here with me. So thank you so very much for that. I'll see you tomorrow.